Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Wawarsing. I'm your host Sullivan, and today's show features Fred and Lucy from Hudson Valley LGBTQ Community Center. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, it's great to be here.
So what does LGBTQ stand for?
It's a great question. It's a series of initials so that everyone is welcome and that everyone is included. So it's lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, and questioning. And we want it, the center, it's a community center, so we want anyone and everyone, whether they're questioning or gender binary or gender non-binary or gender fluid or figuring it out, or if they identify publicly as lesbian or gay or trans or bisexual or queer or questioning.
Yeah. So how does the Hudson Valley LGBTQ Community Center come to be? How did it come to be?
It's a great question. And you probably don't remember the history, but Jason West was one of the first persons to do marriage for same-sex couples in the New Paltz, and made a big public announcement, performed the weddings, etc. A number of ministers joined him, did part of it, and out of that grew people saying, we have the weddings now, we need to do more with this. We had a Pride event that summer in June, and then it took a year, and we opened the center.
Oh, well, that's nice. How did you get involved with the center?
You want to start, Lucy? My story is different than Lucy's.
Yes.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, after years of trying to be something that I'm not, because I had a relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ, and I got sort of misdirected. And then about 2008, I came to the realization that I needed to be who I am, regardless. And so I started coming out as a trans woman, and of course, my long-time relationship with my wife and my son came to an end at that point because they could not accept, who I was. And I came to my first Pride event in '08 at the park in Hasbrook Park in New Paltz, and I was wearing a nice slinky pink negligee, and I was feeling so happy because I was, and could be who I want. And I got involved in the march, and then shortly thereafter, I contacted the LGBTQ Center because I realized that I really needed some support because I was all alone in the world. I was losing all my friends, my community, my family, and I felt like I was kind of all alone in the world, so I contacted the center, and one thing led to another, and within a year I was involved with the center, being a volunteer.
Dedicated, hardworking, always positive volunteer.
Well, it's great.
I got involved in the center when we moved into our building, which is on the corner of John Street and Wall Street, and we were unpacking a bunch of furniture that was donated, tables and chairs, just like you see in the school system here. And we were cleaning it with 409 and paper towel, and I was under the desks with razor blades scraping off the gum. And that's how I first got started in the center. Now I've just finished 8 years on the board of directors, so I've come from cleaning to leading.
Well, it's great that you both got into the program in two different ways, and I'm glad you're both happier now. And but what kind of programs and services does the center offer? What kind of groups kind of meet there?
Well, it's a great question. We are a community center, so we house about 12 groups that are 12-step groups, like AA or NA or SCA or GA, and they meet at various different times, and it's a place for them to meet that's safe, that's secure, that's private, that's confidential, so we respect all of that. We run a number of programs ourselves. We have for years been doing cultural competency training, which means that we've gone out to businesses and healthcare organizations and government agencies and helped them find a way to make their environment and their services comfortable for LGBTQ persons. Because most people assume that everyone is happily married with a husband and a wife and 2 kids, and we don't fit those categories, so we changed that notion. And we have a range of programs. We have a Fiber Fanatics group, which is men and women, and they do embroidery, and they do knitting, and they do carding, and they do sewing, etc. We have a men's discussion group on Thursday nights. We have an OLOC meeting, which is Old Lesbians Organized for Change, that meets on a Friday. And there's several trans groups and P-flag groups.
There's a trans youth group at the center that we started over the last couple of years.
And the name is?
And the name is
League of
Extraordinary Youth
Genders.
And thank you. And we also have a trans group that meets, trans queer group that meets, that are adults, and they meet twice a month on the we have a women's group too, and
we have a P-flag group.
P-flag group, which is also parents of trans youth, and also gay too.
Gay and lesbian.
Gay and lesbian.
All of the programs are open to anyone who wants to come. And on our website, you can see the calendar of events. And the website's easy to look up because it's www.lgbtqcenter.org. And anyone can come to any of the programs any of the time. The big things that we're really proud of at this time of year, and thank you, Sully, for asking, is our Pride events. Because June is Pride Month, and it's about gay pride. It's about celebrating who we are, what our life has been like, and how it's changed because we're out and proud. It's also a wonderful time for people to march with straight allies, people who support our cause, our issues, etc. It's also a time for celebration. And so we have a march and a festival in New Paltz. Anyone and everyone in the Ellenville school system, in the town of Ellenville, in all of Wawarsing, and all around here, you're totally invited to the Pride March and the festival. We march down Main Street, march with us, or come watch the parade. And then we have in the park, at Hasbrook Park, we have a bunch of booths and performers, musicians, food trucks. It's a great day for a festival and a celebration and a delight. And you see people dressed in all kinds of things, and people dressed in street clothes just like myself. And you can find out more information by looking at this card, which is all about Pride, and there's a schedule of things here. You can find it also on our website, lgbtqcenter.org.
I was actually just about to ask about the Pride checklist thing. Are these all in different places, or are all these in the same the center or near the center?
Well, yes and no. They're all around. The first one, which we already had, was in Kingston, the Tea Dance. On June 1st, there will be a dance party in Kingston. On the 2nd, those are in Kingston as well. The actual Pride March and Festival is on that Sunday. And we forgot to mention, Judy, Lucy, we forgot to mention, every Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the month, we have drag bingo. We have a wonderful drag queen, Pinky Socrates, comes and calls the numbers, and people come in. We get 20, 30 people come to play bingo. And she's just like in the Catholic Church when they're raising money to the bingo games. We just do it with drag. It's fun.
Yeah, and she's a drag queen, and
so some of these are in the center. The one at Locust Grove clearly isn't. All the dance parties are in different locations, and you're welcome, Sully. Your family's welcome. All your friends are welcome to any and all of these events.
And I would like to clarify that actually we don't call it a Pride Parade. We call it a Pride March because we're marching for the rights of LGBTQ people. And so it's a march. It's like we're marching on Washington or something like that, but we're marching in New Paltz.
Yeah. And the theme this year is Stand Together. We're in a difficult political environment for protecting people's rights of all kinds, whether it's immigrants, whether it's DACA, whether it's kids, whether it's women, whether it's LGBTQ people. So the idea is stand together with us for LGBTQ issues. We all need to support each other in this political climate.
So, what is the history of the Hudson Valley Pride March and Festival? And what can we look forward for these events?
Well, the history is that we started it about 14 years ago, right after the first weddings, which was in 2004. We picked the first Sunday of the month so that everyone could go to other cities, like New York City has it later in the month. But we always wanted to kick off the month in the beginning. So it's the first Sunday of June every year, and we do a wide range of activities. But the center was created to carry forward the momentum that was started with same-sex marriages and to really push for making the Hudson Valley safe for everyone. Families, individuals, people trying to figure out who they are, what their issues were, etc. And it's just marvelous to march down Main Street in New Paltz and everyone cheering as we bring the center pride banner down the street. Or we wear hats like this, and you see it's all the rainbow colors, right? And so we really want it to be a safe place, and we want activities to be a safe place for everyone. And Pride Festival is a way of doing it. We do a number of other things. We have a teen dance during the year. We participate and support Name Calling Week, which you probably know about, and a number of other kinds of activities. The issue is, how do we make it safe for everyone?
We also do name change. We have a clinic every so often put on by a local legal aid to help people like myself who want to change their name, they're from male to female name, and that takes place like every 3 months or something like that. Also, to talk a little bit more about the festival, what happens at the festival, because you asked that.
Yeah.
We have vendors, food vendors, and we have booth vendors with different community action groups and stuff like that set up booths and on the grounds. We have a big tent that we set up, and we have a stage, and we have music, and we have speakers, and
a lot of churches who come.
A lot of churches that come.
Human service agencies.
They both march into the parade on the march, and they also have booths set up at the park. And there are churches who support the LGBT community.
And for children, there's a face painting table, so kids can come and have the face, and it doesn't matter what age you are, you can have your face painted for free.
How can folks at home get involved with the center? You just go there?
Come anytime, check out the website, etc. We have a Pride Guide, which is all the things that are happening during the month of June, and it's available online, so you can read it. You can also print it. We'll give you copies as well. So that's one way to find out what's happening there. Come to the march and the festival and get engaged. Lucy's going to show you also an example of our monthly calendar.
Yeah, well, this is actually the calendar for Pride Month and all the events they're going to have in Pride. It's in the center of the Pride Guide, and you can pick up a Pride Guide and you can look through it and see all the events that are happening and see which ones you want to go to.
Is there anything else you would like to share today?
I would love to find out. In Ellenville school system, are people who identify who are out as gay or lesbian or non-binary, are they comfortable? Are people supporting them? Are they bullied? Or
I know there are people in the school. I've seen people in the school, and I know they are. And so, because I've talked to them before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if there is a day at the school. I mean, there might be. I don't remember a lot of things. Okay. There could be a day at the school where I don't see anybody ever getting bullied for that.
Wonderful.
this is not really one of those schools that people get bullied all that
That's
much.
wonderful. Because one of the things we work on is to stop bullying in school systems. It is illegal in the state of New York for anyone to bully anyone on any grounds. It doesn't have to be about their sexual identity. It has to do with whether they're too tall or too fat or too thin, or they're nerds or they're jocks or whatever. The idea is no one should be bullied in schools. Schools should be a safe place to let people grow, stretch, try out new ideas, learn things, but they shouldn't be picked on. And the wonderful thing is that I think the center's slowly but surely made a difference, along with GLSEN, in the school systems all over here. And there's many GSAs, right, which are student clubs, gay student alliances, and their various different names. And we support those activities. We want this place to be safe for everyone. I mean, one of my favorite stories early in this year is my 20th anniversary of coming out. I raised kids as a married person in New Paltz, came out in New Paltz. Now I don't think there's anyone in town who doesn't know that I'm gay, but many years ago, I was walking down the Pride March, holding the center banner with one hand. My granddaughter, who was about 4 years old, is in a stroller, and I'm holding the stroller with this hand, the banner with this hand, and she's going down Main Street like this, like Queen Elizabeth, just smiling at everyone, having a ball. And I thought, it almost brought tears to my eyes that I could be who I am, publicly, proudly, with my family around me, in the town where I raised the kids and worked, and it's just very special. It's really special. And the center keeps making that kind of specialness happen for everyone. And we have a number of people who come from Ellenville all the way to Kingston, which is a schlep in a bus if they don't have a car, or etc. But there's activities and fun things to do, and we encourage straight allies to come. It doesn't mean that you have to be LGBTQ to come. We have a lot of people who are straight allies. My granddaughter, who is now finishing an associate's degree, has many friends who are gay, and she's come to the gala to support her friends who were gay, and she's a straight ally. And of course, she comes to March every year because I bring the family to the parade. The March and the festival. Thank you. So it's really, it's wonderful that you invite us here, Sully, because this is the time of year when students are thinking the school year's almost over, etc. Summer's in front of us. So it's a great chance for people to stop and pause and say, this is a good cause, let's go march, or let's go watch the march and go to a festival. You know? So, lead a cavalcade of cars to New Paltz. It's easy to get over the mountain.
Sully, I had a question for you too. Go into it a little bit more. Is there a student support group here on the campus for LGBTQ students?
I think there is. I think there is. I don't hear about it all that much, but I'm pretty sure that there is in the school.
Good.
Yeah.
One of the things that we do for students in high school is people who are either identify as lesbian or gay or trans or gender fluid or queer. There's some people in your age group identify as queer. For us, that's a negative term. For you, it's a positive term. But we have a scholarship fund, and we give a scholarship to a student from local high schools who are helping them go to college, and if they're LGBTQ or straight allies, but if they've been doing something to support the cause while they've been in high school. And it's a great way to thank them and to reward them and to announce this at graduations. And I think we've had a graduate from Ellenville who got it. I apologize that I don't remember the list, and we've done it now for 10 years, so that's 20 or 30 scholarships we've given in that period of time.
Oh, that's great. For more information on today's topic, you can find the Hudson Valley LGBTQ Community Center on Facebook, or go to lgbtqcenter.org, or you can email at windsongrain
windsongrain
at gmail.com.
That's Lucy.
That's me.
Right. Or f.mayo@lgbtq.org.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I said a windstorm for some reason.
And now it's windstorm.
Well, Lucy
rain.
is a windstorm. She comes in, and whenever she gets involved, she makes things happen. She's a great sense of color, and there's wonderful sandwich boards outside the center, and she makes them colorful, bright, attract attention, amongst many other things.
I also want to share that students at SUNY New Paltz last year made a 10-minute documentary about my transgendered life and all that, and it's called Inside Adam's Body, and you can see it on YouTube.
You can also call at 845-331-5300. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Spotlight on Wawarsing. See you next time.